Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just came back from work and I was like, oh, I haven't done YouTube in a while because I've been busy with work since uh, the store is open again. I'm doing a YouTube video now it's a story time. Oops. It's a story time about another bully at school, at high school. Uh, I've told about one bully before. I think it's my first YouTube video ever. It's kind of cringe, really weird, but that was like the first person, but the second person that was also pretty annoying and kind of bullying um was a girl, and I'm not saying her name, I'm not saying where, I don't know where she lives, whatever, like I don't even know that anymore. I only know her name and that kind of stuff. The first year of high school, and I had a friend from elementary school still, and we were like best friends, and then later on would be friends with more people, but at the beginning, there's like only the two of us, kind of, because we only knew each other and like everyone was new. So there was this other girl who started to become best friends with my best friend, and I was kind of like, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I was kind of lonely now because my like that girl was trying to like be best friends with my best friend, because it was like everyone had friends already in class, and so me and my best friend back then, and then other people were also being friends with each other, and this one girl was alone, and so she went to my best friend back then. At first it was like we were like kind of suspicious of her because she was acting weird in class, and then my best friend back then, let's call her Amanda. Okay, so the best friend is Amanda, and the weird girl was Dummy. Okay, so it was Dummy's birthday, I think, and she was asking some people, hey, you want to come? And Amanda was like, I'll go. The day after that, I was already thinking, like, I think something's gonna happen now, because me and Amanda would always go to school together on our bikes, and she would come to me to my house, and then we would go to school like that. And I knew there was something was going to happen with that, so I texted her, are you gonna be here soon? I texted her this the next morning, and she was like, oh yeah, by the way, I am going to school with Dummy, so yeah, sorry, forgot to mention that. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I guess they were going together or something, and I just had to like go alone or something. And so they were like sitting next to each other the whole time. They were suddenly best friends, and they left me out. And I get it's like we were kids. We were like 12. I did not like Dummy, not because of the whole friend situation, but because she was acting like super sketchy, and she was like lying, and I knew she was lying about a lot of stuff. And I could just see, because it's so obvious, because one thing would happen, I would see something happen, and then she would say, that didn't happen, this happened. And then I'm like, but I saw it with my own eyes, so I know you're lying. It's like, it's not rocket science, you know? This girl, she started stealing money from Amanda. Dummy started stealing from Amanda. I remember one time, um, Amanda told me that they were together in Amanda's house. They were watching TV and stuff like that, but Amanda had a dog, so she was like, oh, we have to walk my dog. And Dummy was like, nah, you'll go. I'll just stay inside of the house. And just, I'm just gonna say this, they were home alone. It was just the two of them, there were no parents. Um, so Amanda went outside to walk the dog, and when she came back, money was missing that was like on the counter. Her dad left her like some allowance, and it was like €5, and then it was gone. It was completely gone. It had always been there, and now it was gone. And Dummy was like, yeah, I don't know what happened to that, but Amanda already knew that it would have just disappeared. There's no one home. It was there before she walked the dog. When she came back like 10 minutes later, it was gone. Amanda was like, I don't trust this girl anymore because it happened multiple times that like money was missing after they would hang out or even at school. Then Dummy started to become best friends with another friend of ours. Like we already made new friends by this time. It was later on. It was later on in the year. Other classmates were our friends, and this girl, she's very nice and yeah, nice and everything like that, hardworking, but she's also too nice, you know? Like she would know that Dummy would be stealing from her and she would be like, yeah, I know. But she wouldn't even say anything about it. And we were like, come on, but okay. So I remember this one time we were all friends except for Dummy. Dummy was just kind of sitting with us in the during lunch break outside. Outside of school, we would just sit down and eat until the bell would ring, and then we would go back to class. And I remember because it was before biology class, and we were sitting, and I was sitting like with my back was like near my feet because we were sitting on the ground. What was a little hill made of bricks. Yeah, I don't know how to explain, but it was like that my bag was sitting next to me, like near my legs slash feet, and there was like a little wallet. It was in my bag in like the front thing, you know, in the front thing. But she was like looking, and like I was sitting here, my bag would be here, like just imagine this is the floor here, and Dummy would sit next to me, and she was like playing with my bag. She was like on the zippers, you know, she was like opening the zipper, closing it, opening it, you know, and I'm seriously like, what is she doing? But I know what she's doing, and I'm gonna be careful now. But she's not gonna grab something while everyone is there, so I wasn't really worried, you know? So she just opened it like fully now. She wasn't really playing with it anymore, like playing. And then she opened it fully, and she was like, she saw my little wallet in there. There was money in it, not a lot, you know, it was like some cash, some coins, you know, but it's still money, and it's still just like, even if it's not a lot, even if it's just €1, it's just the fact that she is stealing, you know, it makes her, you know, then she's able to steal, as in her intent and her willingness to steal is there. Doesn't matter how much it is, it's still stealing and it's still bad, you know. um and there wasn't even much in it, but still. And we went to biology, I remember this, and I put my bag on the table and I turned around because that's where my friends were sitting. They were sitting behind me, and I said something. I turned back and the zipper's open and my little wallet is gone. It was like maybe even 5 seconds that I turned around and it was gone. And also the little bag that I had for my medicine, because I had migraines and I would have painkillers and other medicine in there, that was also gone. So I was like, where's my stuff? I know where my stuff is. So Domi was like a few tables ahead. She was like standing there and like with her back towards me, so I couldn't see. So I walked up to her. I was like, do you know where my wallet is? And she was like, no, no. And then I walked back and she walked like with me to my table, and she was like, oh, I found your wallet. It was in your medicine bag. And I was like, what? She said, she was trying to make it look like, yeah, she was trying to make it look like I lost my wallet and that she found it in my medicine bag to make it look right. Like, I don't even understand. Like, why would you have my wallet and my medicine bag? super weird. And why would my little wallet thing be in the medicine bag? That makes no sense. And why is it out of my bag in the first place? And the zipper is open and everything. And she gave it back and the money was gone. I checked it immediately. The money was gone. And I told all of my friends. And then I remember one of my friends back then, he wanted to be a detective or something. So he was like, I'm gonna play detective now. And we were like the next classes, we would sit like behind her or something. And I wasn't really, I still hated the fact that she did that. And I just don't like stealing at all. And I don't like her as, I didn't like her as a person, you know. And but I was still doing my work, you know, my homework. And like my friends, especially the guy, the detective guy, he was like sitting next to me and like taking notes, you know, on paper. And like, now she's doing this. This is very suspicious. And in that class, she also like, um, he was also like, did you? He said this to Dummy, like, did you bring any money to school today? And she was like, no, I don't even have any money. So I don't know why you think that, blah, blah, blah. Because she already knew that we were on to her. And he was like, but can I check your phone? You know, like phone case. There's like a phone and there's a phone case here. And between that, you can put like money or your cards or whatever. And she was like, no, no. And then at some point, I was like working, doing the homework, and then we heard coins drop. And turns out she was like taking the coins out of her phone and phone case and then putting it in her boot. And but we heard it drop, and the detective guy, he was like, I saw her do this. I also reported this to my mentor, you know, like the teacher that's supposed to mentor you in your class. At the end of the day, she was getting soup from the machine, like, you know, like the soup like in a little cup. And and people were like walking up to her, and I was still like walking normally, but others were like walking faster and were like, where did you get the soup? From what money? Thought you didn't bring any money today to school. There was like this event or something, I don't really remember what it was. uh, because I don't know if I was there even. No, I don't think so. But they had to get chips for school, and so they got money or for some event. I don't know, but they had to get chips, and then Amanda paid for the chips, and then Domi had to pay as well because they would do it together. And no, Amanda was already not fond of the idea to like have to work together with Domi because she didn't trust her anymore, weren't really friends anymore, you know. And um, so Domi would say, I will leave money for you. You pay for it now. I will leave money for you on the counter in your house. Because they went back to Amanda's house after the shopping for chips. And mm, she didn't. And she was like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And then she said, yeah, it must have dropped behind the counter. And then we would like all look for the counter. Even Amanda's dad would help. And we were all like, no, it's not here. And then she was like, then you have to pay me back. And we did it. And Amanda got so pissed. She's like, I'm getting my dad involved, blah, blah, blah. You cannot do this anymore. And she was really pissed, but we just let it go, I think. I don't know. I remember it was winter. I think it was because it was snowing. And I think it was around December or January. And it was snowing here. And me and Amanda went to here to my house and to play with snow. And we would sled and stuff like that and do snow fights, you know. Yeah, we were here, and me and Amanda and my sister, even she also played with us here with the snow, but Dummy was here as well. And I was like, okay, fine, you can join, because she really wanted to come with us. And I don't know, I remember this because this is the dumbest thing she might have done. It's even dumber than the stealing thing. She would pretend to have a call from, guess who? The bully that I've talked about in my first video. The one that was, he was kind of popular, and back then it was like in the first year, and it was like the first few months. So she got a call from that guy, and she was like, "Ooh, I'm calling someone. I'm calling the guy that I'm not saying by name. Okay, I'm just gonna make up a name for him. I'll just call him Bob." So she was like, "Oh, hey, Bob. How you doing, Bob?" "Yeah, uh-huh." And I was like, I wasn't even paying attention. And I was like, whatever. And then she went to me and she said to me and to Amanda, um, "Yeah, Bob called me and he asked me to be his girlfriend." And then she was outside, like on the garage thing where like our bikes are at, you know. She went to the outside of that, to the wall, and she wrote Bob, you know, his real name, but okay, we're just calling him Bob. She wrote Bob with snow on it. Like she would put snow in her hand and then bam on the wall, and then make a B and an O and another B. I believed it because it wasn't real, but I believed it, and I don't know, I was very gullible. Okay, I was a kid. And next day at school, we were like waiting in front of the classroom till the teacher would arrive, and I was like, I said to um Dummy, like, "Hey, there's Bob. You don't want to say hi or something?" And she was like, "No, no, 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 no. Don't say hi to him. Don't say anything about that. I'm just gonna keep my distance," stuff like that. And I was like, "Mm-hmm, okay." And I still believed it. So I was like, I said to Bob, "Hey, you and Dummy are dating," and stuff like that. And I also said it to him and his friends around him. And he was like, "No, no, what the hell?" So it went all around that she was lying and stuff like that, saying that they were dating when he doesn't even talk to her or even like her. He would, like, everyone would think she was kind of sketchy, stuff like that. And they were right. I was like, "Oh, you guys are dating her?" And he was like, "No." And Tommy was like, "Oh, damn." "Oh, so you lying?" We didn't like her anymore, me, Amanda, and some others. But the other girl that I mentioned before, the one that is too nice, you know, and she would still hang out with this girl. I think this was in the second year. We were still in the same class, same classmates, and she would still hang out with the one friend that is like too nice, you know, and she would take her for granted and everything like that. It's like not normal. But anyways, she just dropped her. Like Dummy dropped that the other friend, you know, and to go with other classmates. And those classmates were like, "Yeah, fine, you can just be friends with us, fine." They became great friends, and she dropped like the nice girl, you know, like the nice girl, and she just went with those. And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. She won't be bothering us. She's somewhere else. I don't think she's even stealing anymore. Everything's fine." Turns out they were like all like the three girls that she was friends with now. They were all sitting next to each other or something. I wasn't there, but they told me later on that they were sitting there next to each other on the computer. I don't know. And Domi was sitting like somewhere there. And she was like grabbing something out of one of those girls' bags for money. She was trying to steal money again. And that's when they were like, "This is done. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. We're not going to be friends with you anymore. We're reporting this to um, the mentor." And she lost friends. And then when she lost those friends, you know, like it was like months that they were friends, but then she had no friends. Domi had no friends anymore. And then she went back to the nice girl that was too nice. and she let it happen. And I was like, oh my god, you know, she's just using you because you're too nice, and you will just let it happen because you're too nice. And she's like, yeah, I know. But yeah, I don't know, I didn't really like her. And like, I've made it clear, because I'm still trying to be nice, I'm not ever being mean to her. When she would be crossing the line, I would be reporting it to my mentor. Like, whenever she would steal, whenever she would be mean, or she would say, let's look for money, like on the floor. Like, whenever she would like borrow money, because like in the cafeteria, you know, uh, you can get food during lunch break. And she would say sometimes, can I borrow some money? And, you know, borrow meaning you have to give it back at some point, but she wouldn't do that. And we also had to report that at some point, because yeah, I mean, I didn't let her like borrow some money anymore. I mean, from me, it was only like a few euros she would steal. But from Amanda, it was more, way more. And from the other friend, the ones that's too nice, she would steal way more, like 10 euro bill at some point, like out of the wallet, just gone. Like, I don't know how you can just be like that. Like, even the ones that are really nice to you and give you more chances, and you're still doing it. And it's like, why are you doing this? And then in the third year, she was gone. Just to say, like, the bully that I talked about in the first video, that I think got kicked out because of me, or he didn't want to go to school to there anymore because of me, because I stood up to him. He went. He was gone in the third year, but then the girl dummy was also gone in the third year. So I was like, wow, this third year is gonna be good now, because these two people are gone. She had a stepmom because her parents were divorced. The stepmom and the dad had like a big jar, and it was full of change. Like, if they would have some change or whatever, or like some cash, they would put it in a jar and to save it like that. And I know that she admitted it to me, because this dummy admitted it to me. She would steal money, because if sometimes she would come to school and she wouldn't even get allowance. Like I didn't get allowance either, you know. But suddenly she had like a lot of money, and I would be like, where did you get that money? And then she would say, yes, from the jar, from my stepmom and my dad. Yeah, and like Amanda also told me this, like, yeah, she has this jar, or the parents have a jar, and she just steals money out of it. And whenever she would steal money out of that jar, she would spend it all, like within a minute, on like the vending machine for candy, like 10 euros, and she would spend it all on candy. And she would have, like, within a minute, she would have like maybe 10, 15 bags of candy or chips. So yeah, it was the video about like this little thing in high school about this thief. Like and subscribe if you like the video, if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.